Welcome to DBSync's What Our Customers Are Saying About Us segment, where we talk about data management successes and the problems clients have challenged us to solve. DBSync is one of the leading integration, replication, and data management providers. We've worked with a variety of mid and enterprise level companies for a little bit more than a decade now, with kind of a simple motto that if you've got a database and an open API, we've got a solution. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Jonathan Edwards, who is a project manager at the Virginia City Public Schools. They've been a client of ours, I would say part of the family for a little bit over a year now, Jonathan. And I first want to welcome you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And then also, if you would just tell us a little bit more about Virginia City Public Schools. I think we know what schools are, but a little more specifically about maybe the challenges your organization was having that made you start to look at a company like DBSync for some solutions.
So, yep, we're a K through 12 school district in Virginia, where I think we're like the third or fourth largest in the state, sort of thing. But we recently replaced our DOT ticketing system with Salesforce or Service Cloud. And in that process, we had to, or had the need to synchronize on-premise data with the Salesforce data, right? So it was mainly around assets, devices, employee information, contacts, student contacts. We did go as far as implementing and syncing up classroom membership and that sort of thing as well.
So you sort of hinted this a little bit, but let me just ask you first two questions. One, what was it about our solution that maybe sort of made you think, I've done some research, but this looks like the best solution for us? And then knowing that, how have you implemented it through the organization? Like where and how is it being used on a daily basis, if you will?
Yeah, we went through the standard evaluation of ETL solutions and other solutions like yours, right? So where we fell upon your solution is essentially in how it's architected, right? So we're a pretty technically savvy, organization. We're fortunate enough to have some money, so therefore we're pretty progressive on the cloud services, data analytics, development, and application, analysis, business analysis side of the house. So we're pretty savvy in that standpoint. So we like the solutions that allow us. We like solutions that allow us a technical level without going too far, and that's what DBSync did, right? So it allows us to do. We're very SQL oriented. We're very familiar with SQL. We're very familiar with moving data around with SQL. So DBSync added the last, mile to our solution, which was, okay, once we got the data into SQL the way we wanted it, then just sync that data up to Salesforce. So it kept it pretty simple, kept it very clean, and helped us mitigate the differences between the standard data stuff that happens, right? Duplicates and overwriting data and deleting data and adding data, the whole thing around that.
All of that. And how many folks are using it on a regular basis?
We have it on an automated system, and we have it for two sales organization or orgs now. One is for technologies, like I mentioned, but we also have Salesforce is expanding in the school district as well. We have our benefits department using a Salesforce org now as well, and they have their own set of data that's being synced to Salesforce for their purposes. And it's the same purpose, right? It's in the service cloud perspective. They want to be able to tie cases and support cases to individual, users, to devices, so that we can have some analytics around, what device is having the most problems, what school level, what grade level is having the most problems. So that aspect of it. But from the benefit side of it is really it's tying down employee information to benefit requests and troubleshooting and information gathering and, again, data analytics.
Now, yeah, you just sort of already named the solutions that it was solving. Have you thought about those in terms of a dollar amount? Like, are you thinking ROI at that level, or is it just more everything's, it is where we can get to it, we know how, and it's, it's just more of
Yeah,
a,
I mean, it
the
definitely
ease
has
and less
helped.
hassle.
Yeah, we haven't really thought about it from a financial perspective, but it
Mhm.
certainly has, filled that slot in the sense that we're not going through some other tool and spending a lot of
Right.
support time with a tool that's more of a direct A to B kind of integration.
Mm,
So it has saved us that aspect of it,
sure.
but on the benefit side, it's the same thing. It's saved us time. Yeah,
Yeah. That's everything. And as I said, and certainly
yeah,
hassle and, all of that really matters when you're, especially under the
yeah.
crunch, you're just really trying to get things organized. Just knowing that
Right.
you're like, a couple of clicks away and we're good. That's a
Yep.
lot. So
Yep.
kind of keeping in that vein, then now, if I'd say another business similar to Virginia City Public Schools came to you and said, "Hey, we're struggling in these areas. I heard you guys found a solution." What would they need to know, or what questions should they ask when they need to kind of evaluate DBSync as a possible solution?
Performance is also number one, right? I mean, a lot of the
Mhm.
performance is not truly dependent on DBSync itself. It's also dependent on the, source and destination APIs and that sort of thing,
Sure.
but definitely performance. Um, and the performance has just been crazy, you know, great with DBSync. And we don't have terabytes, multiple terabytes of data, and we're not that large, but we do get above a terabyte in data. So it is a significant amount of data. So performance is number one, but otherwise it's really just ease of use. Like any
Yeah.
other tool, it's the same things: ease of use, ease of management, and being in support and having help there when you need it. So they're there when you call, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that is everything, right? In a crisis is when
Yeah,
you really need that. And so in
yeah,
that vein, then that I'm glad to hear that obviously we're doing some things well that really matter.
yeah.
Where might there be some areas for improvement, whether you're thinking of it more as maybe product enhancement or just general customer enrichment? Are there some areas you could see we could go to, you know?
Yeah, I mean, every product has its direction. I mean, a product's never done, right? There's always modifications. There's always, performance improvements. There's always additional features. So yeah, I mean, I would just say that they just need to keep going in the right direction of adding more features. I mean, making the scheduling of the tasks easier, keeping track of logging as far as what's going on and what the
Mhm.
system is doing, improve that side of the house a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, you know,
Good. Well, yeah,
that's
that's the
about it.
good news. I think we're already doing that. So good to
Yeah,
hear. And we are going in the right direction, but it's always helpful to know. I mean, we know that nothing is, is flawless. So there are certainly areas where we can make some tweaks as well. And I'm glad to hear we're on the right track.
yeah,
So I think that brings us to a close as far as just kind of getting a sense of your experience with DB Sync. Thank you so much for
yeah,
taking the time, Jonathan, to share the story with us today. It's really nice to hear when things are going well and that we're meeting our customers' needs where they need it. And I want to just say that we look forward to continuing a successful partnership with you.
no
And for
problem.
those tuning in, thank you so much. I just wanted to remind you that you don't really need to look any further. We've got your solution right here. You don't necessarily have to listen to me or Jonathan, though you should, but you can check us out at the App Exchange where you can see what folks are saying and why we continue to be rated very well in customer satisfaction. So just a few last words of advice. Don't delay. Please take the time to connect with us today so we can get and keep your apps talking. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.